Hello and good morning. Welcome to your irregularly scheduled ad break with me, Andrew, and my Andrew's Alone Day Dues. It's a funny little name, AADD, ad break. Today, I'm recording this the day after I recorded the video, and it's been raining, which is not typical for Colorado, at all. Very different. I'm from the coast, though. I'm from the East Coast, South Carolina. We're used to having hurricanes and stuff, so having a little bit of drizzle is a nice little surprise for me. It's a little gift, I would say. And this morning, I'm doing the same walk that you'll see in the video. I just crossed the street, which takes place a little bit later in the filming, and somebody actually stopped for me. It's a crosswalk with two directional traffic, 2 lanes on each side of the road, and I've almost been run down a couple of times by people. And I'll start walking when I don't see any cars, and I get halfway across the street and suddenly somebody's zooming across the road. And I've had somebody almost run me over and honk at me instead of being bothered to slow down, which is crazy to me. They'd rather run me over before take their foot off the gas. But this person actually stopped for me today. So I don't know, maybe that shows a little bit of change in things to come. It's a nice little surprise. It's a nice little change. And basically, I'm just trying to focus on the positive things recently, I guess. I'm trying to change up my habits, get out of this constant consumption of things. Today, we woke up early to go and get Dutch Bros and pick up some of the free stickers they have. And I stayed up and I cleaned. I focused on myself. And that's something that I'm really proud of myself for doing this morning. Because I also really wanted to go back to sleep and just roll over and go back to bed for 2 hours and wake up late, and I didn't do that. So I'm proud of myself for that. And I want to, take time to actually appreciate that I did that today. I didn't do the dishes, but I did fold 2 loads of laundry, got 1 load through to the dryer. I made my lunch. I even ate breakfast. I took a shower. I didn't scroll on my phone. I don't think I scrolled on my phone at all this morning. You know why I didn't, actually, is because my phone was dead. I had to throw it on the charger. It's at 100% now, which is another great thing I did. I left with my phone on full battery. Yesterday it was on half. And that's the type of stuff that I'm trying to do more of. Instead of just rolling over, going back to bed, waking up late with only maybe an hour to get ready for work. Just for the longest time, I just kind of been going through things without much thought. I'm good at going to work and getting there on time. I'm good at not spending things because I've never spent money on myself, really. So being able to save up the money I earn and not blow it on crap, and cover the bills while my wife is going through nursing school, and she does Instacart as much as she can, but she can't work a scheduled job because her availability is just not that of what companies want. Even the Costco down here, it's funny because they offer part-time staggered scheduling, but they want you to have full-time availability, which doesn't make any sense to me. If I have full-time availability, I want a full-time job. I want that full-time pay. The mental load it takes to dedicate yourself to a job like that, all staggered, is the same mental load it would take to work a regularly scheduled full-time job, in my opinion. But that's off topic, honestly. I've been trying to get better at working on my habits and my schedule personally. Because, put it this way, I start this walk at 9:25. Today I started at 9:28. I ran a little late. But you know, I took out the trash and I was brushing my teeth. I actually gargled today, which is a big accomplishment for me. I wasn't really like encouraged or, you know, raised that much into taking care of myself. As bizarre as that might sound to some people that's like, oh yeah, same. We're part of the same party. The neglect to self party. But as I'm growing up, that's kind of something that I can teach myself now. I figured, wow, Jesus Christ. That's a car without a license plate. You don't hear too much of that down here. Down here, we moved out of the ruckus to where things are not as crazy. Because first my wife and I started living with this crazy lady, and then she got too crazy, so we moved on to like the most infamous road in our city to not live on because of its reputation. We lived in a motel there for a bit, pet-friendly extended stay, and it cost $2,000 a fucking month, $500 cash a week to live there. And at the time I was still paying half of the rent for my sister as well. So it was damn near $3,000 a month we were spending to just have somewhere to live and not having an eviction on my record. And then after that, we moved to the other side of the city, same bad part of town. That is a giant crow up there. Wants to make its presence known this morning. But yeah, we moved to a different bad part of town, and in the first month or two, there were 2 shootings. We got blood on our car, bullet holes in the windowsill. Decided pretty quickly after that we weren't gonna live there for much longer if we had anything to do about it. So my wife was pulling 70 hours a week, earning my bi-weekly paycheck every week, which is impressive. I make like 13, something like that. Oop. Oh, that bird almost got hit by the car flying off. Anyways, yeah, after all that, now we live somewhere very calm. Everybody's like chill. The biggest inconvenience is people driving crazy and just rushing because they have nothing bad happening in life. They don't know how to chill. You gotta make up drama, I guess. Which is another good life lesson to learn, is how to appreciate the silence. But yeah, that was a side tangent by that car driving by, if you heard it. As I was saying before, though, when you finally have, you know, silence and relaxation and time to kind of re-regulate yourself and teach yourself things that for most people is common sense, like brushing your teeth and showering, it's good to take the time and space that you have for yourself to actually learn those things, because it feels nice to take care of yourself, which, again, common sense, you would think. But for some people it takes longer than others to learn, and I guarantee there are plenty of people out there who understand what I mean. I've always tried to like super schedule my days or something like that, and it got to the point where I was over scheduling and over time blocking everything. And when you over complicate things, I guess, it makes it hard to stick to it, especially if you don't stick to any sort of schedule. But I figured if I can leave my house at 9:30 in the morning to clock into my job at 12:30 and then work until 9 and not get home until 10. It's shorter on the way home because my wife picks me up from the bus stop. She has to, because the bus doesn't run that late. If I can dedicate that much time to work, I damn sure should be able to dedicate that much time to myself. Even like just a little bit, you know, just to make it easier, because all that time is dedicated to work. So I should find somewhere to take care of myself. And hopefully one day, if I don't have to work as much as I do now, I should be able to dedicate all of that time to myself or my craft or something. Because I love doing art and I love playing video games and I love looking at philosophy and time effectiveness and stuff. And I consider myself very much still a novice on all of those things. But I enjoy doing it, you know, and I enjoy making content and video editing and, you know, presentations even. But I don't feel like I know a lot about things to be able to make video essays. So I gotta find some sort of little slice of life niche, I think, where I just kind of share my adventure at figuring stuff out. But, you know, I'm gonna keep trying at the very least. Even after just recording this today, I think I feel a little bit more confident in my ability to make some sort of, I don't know, video or presentation. Because I do gaming videos, like I said, I stream. But it's different when you're not depending on a game for the content. And one of the books I read, it's called The Four Agreements, and I have trouble actually reciting the four of the agreements, but one of them is to always try your best. And that's a good one to keep in mind, because the guy also talks about how your best won't always look the same. And you should just always give your best, no matter what state you're in. Even if your best looks like your best day, most productive day that you're ever going to have alive, or if your best honestly just looks like rolling out of bed and doom scrolling in the couch instead of the bed and trying to eat something, maybe take a peek outside, you know, whatever your best is. And, you know, sometimes I do have the thought of like, well, what is ultimately the point of putting in all this effort if nothing matters in and of itself? But if you take that same thought and flip it around, if nothing matters, why not try? You know, why not have fun and try to, I don't know, push to make the best of whatever you enjoy doing? If there's no reason to do it, there's no reason not to do it. At least for yourself at the end of the day. Just try your best. I'm gonna link that book in the description if anybody's interested. There's also a second one. It's called Be Skeptical But Learn to Listen. At least that's not the book, but that's the lesson that he tries to teach in the second one, and it's a great one. You try to listen to the lessons that the earth provides you, and be skeptical of everything, especially your own thoughts. And he says to even be skeptical of the book that you're reading from him, but learn to listen to things and not take it to heart, but hear it and hear the value that's in it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you gained something from this video today, and I hope you have a good one. Thank you for joining me on this ad break. Bye-bye.